Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 85. I am your host, Dantes, and of course, joining me, like always, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And this week kind of felt like we had to like scour through a couple of different pieces of news. The good thing is that today is March 31st. April Fools won't be until tomorrow. So by next Sunday, by the next podcast, which actually we're not gonna have, because we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be able to kind of like sort through the news. So we're not gonna be reporting on things that are actually not true. So for now everything you're gonna hear from us is actually either an actual rumor or an actual piece of news. It's not gonna be something out of April Fools that is gonna change later. So at least you can be safe on that. So for now, Dantes, go ahead and get it ready and let's get it on.
Yes, so what is up, people? I want to welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 85, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also, remember, you can get this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. I finally connected my tower so I can finally put all the episodes that I owed. So expect that coming next Sunday. The description box below, so you can see the full channel schedule. We're not doing it, but at some point we may. I don't know. We're all over the place right now in this channel, so uh, we'll see how it goes. Also, Facebook page at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, are you guys ready? We're back with the segments. Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the 10 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the Week. Oops.
My body is ready.
My body's ready. I almost lost the hotkey there because I'm rusty. Anyway, Caleones, I think let's start with the biggest piece of news of the week, and we can go from there.
Okay, so we have the biggest one out of them all, and this is coming straight from the Wall Street Journal, and it is that not only one, but two Nintendo Switch units, new systems could come out as soon as this summer. Of course, this is something that we have been speculating a lot, for a long time. The Switch Mini and the Switch Pro. Dantes, what do you think of this news? Can we expect them at the very as soon as this summer? And should we already start saving for them? Like, what do you think?
So we have to say Wall Street Journal brought this news, right? But then it was backed up by Eurogamer. So we have a second source. Seems like the rumors are strong, Caleones, that we may be getting two Switches this year. Is it coming this summer? What is the perfect time to announce new hardware, Caleones? E3, right? So if it's happening, that new Nintendo Direct could be big, and we could see a big announcement, and maybe they are releasing the Pro and the Mini. Now, we've talked in lengths in the past about this channel about both the Pro and the Mini and what we expect. We'll give it another shot. If you're tired of listening to us, we're sorry about that. But basically, Caleones, first and foremost, do you think the rumors are true? Before I get into my mini rant, so you think the rumors are true? Are you excited about the new Switches? Everybody in the chat saying that they could be there. Some excitement there. And are you buying both since you're a Nintendo fanboy, or are you buying one of the versions?
Okay, so just to first say, we already got two Nintendo Switch units here at our household. I've always, I've been meaning to get a third one. I got certain roadblocks, which kept me, from getting one. So I got to put a very convincing job, and I think I can do a pretty convincing job if Nintendo helps me by introducing two Nintendo Switch systems. As far as they go, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with the Mini because my 7-year-old son, he is fine with the current version that he has, which is just the regular version. Switch Pro, of course, if that's true, I'm gonna be the first one jumping all over it. Somebody did mention on here that it could very well be an XL unit. That was from Xingxie. So I'm not sure, like if the Pro, I'm not expecting, like some people were saying, oh, it's gonna be a 4K screen and it's gonna go 4K 60 frames. No, it's not really gonna be like that. It's not gonna be to where the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. It's not gonna be close to those. I would be actually impressed if they are, if the new Switch system is close to the power of the base PS4. So if they do that, I think that's going to be great, especially since you can still take it on the go. But the question is, and Nintendo could always throw something out of left field. What if the new Pro Nintendo Switch system is not necessarily the Nintendo Switch Pro, but it could be a Nintendo something else that is not portable, and it's a standalone gaming box that stays on the TV. You can dock whichever Switch system you have into it to exchange saves data. And this is, I gotta give the credit to AMD Boomer, Mr. Boomer, that he was the one coming up with that scenario. So right now, anything is possible. I'll be very excited. If it's the Mini Pro, I'll go with the Pro, of course, since they already have two other Switch units. But I mean, it could be a handheld hybrid console, or it could be a straight console for the TV. So anything is possible right now, Dantes.
Okay. Okay. For me, I'm not interested about the Mini at all. No, don't care about it. Now, in the past, I have. So let me put it this way. I had owned all three versions of the 3DS. I own the original. Well, there's more versions, but let me put it the main versions. I own the original 3DS where it was the clamshell design. It was smaller. I own the XL version where the screen was bigger, and I own the new version when they added the little knob as a Senko analog and a little bit more power to run games like Xenoblade Chronicles for the 3DS. Now, even though I love all those games, I love that game, and that's the reason I bought it. Every time what I did is I did a trading offer with GameStop where they would they would let you trade in the 3DS, and I think they would give me like $200, Caleones, and then you would only basically have to pay $100. So basically, if I remember it correctly, I ended up paying $100 for each iteration. And for me, right, the reason I did it was the XL screen for the 3DS specifically was important for me. I needed a bigger screen. I prefer bigger screen when I'm playing handheld games. I don't like small screens. So that takes out the Mini out of the equation for me, because if the Mini comes out like the rumor states, then it's just a small screen. Even you won't have detachable analogs. You won't even have possibly the rumble, right? The famous new rumble for the analog sticks or the Joy-Cons, right? Which it's good. The rumble is fine. I don't know about a lot of people hating on it online, but I thought it was fine. Like in Octopath Traveler, every time you go through a store and you feel when you open the door, when you go to a store and you hear the little ring going ding, in Octopath, you can feel that ring every time you open a store. It's stuff like that. It's minor.
No. Because you made a big deal last week about how I haven't played Octopath Traveler. So no, I do not know what that sounds like.
No, but when you go to a normal store, dude, that's what I'm saying. When you go to a normal store, you hear the ring, on the door, like those old stores where they have like a small, it almost announces what people go in, right? And the same, Octopath does the same. You'll know if you ever play the game someday. But anyway, so I don't see that at all as a good thing. Now the XL or the possible Pro, if it's just a bigger screen, Caleones, I am not buying it. The reason for me saying if it's just a bigger screen, even though if they have trading offers, could be tempting, but if it's just a bigger screen, that I have no reason, honestly, to buy it, because I feel the screen already on the current Switch is pretty good. It's pretty big, and I mostly play console style because I don't have time to play when I'm out the house. Honestly, I don't have time to play, so I barely play my Switch on the road or on the go like it's meant to be, honestly. There have been times I take it for grinding and stuff like that, but it's rare. It's been rare occasions, admittedly. Even Octopath Traveler, who is a great game to take on the go and looks pretty good on the Switch on the go. I've been playing it. I would say 98 to 99%. I played it on the TV. Right, that's how I prefer to play it. So bigger screen will mean up. Now, if they increase the CPU or GPU or something to that extent where they give me better performance, okay, I may start thinking about it, because to me, I don't care about the 4K. Let me clarify. I don't care about the 4K. I do not care about full 1080p native. I really don't. I mean, I like it. I have my PlayStation for that. Right now, what I need from the Switch is more performance stabilization, if I can talk. More stability in performance, right? Why do I need that, Caleones? Because Nintendo Switch has suffered, even on first-party games. Zelda Breath of the Wild, there were places when you go to the forest where the Master Sword lies, dips in performance really bad. Xenoblade Chronicles had, that factory section in Xenoblade Chronicles. If you guys play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you know what I'm talking about. Performance dips really bad on the game, right? Now, there's games who have done really well in performance, like Mario Odyssey. But again, the Mario Odyssey is not a big game that it will take the Switch to the extreme where Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 have done, right? So what I'm looking is for more stability in performance. That's the only thing that I want, kind of, that I could play games like Breath of the Wild, games like Xenoblade Chronicles, fixed 30. You should not be dipping anything below 30 FPS. And people say, oh, frames don't matter. Frames matter, people, and more if you play games in 60 frames per second. You have to have at least, at a minimum, we have to, as console gamers, have to push back and make sure that this company gets us at least 30 frames per second with no dips, nothing. I don't want to see any. So to me, if the Switch Pro is better in that sense and gives me that, then I might think about it, because in reality, that is critical, Caleones. Honestly, that is critical performance. So that's what I'm looking for the Pro more than, 4K and people already, in the moon with the Pro. And like you say, is it a Pro? Maybe it's just a minor upgrade in the GPU, CPU, maybe going to the Tegra 2 portable chipset, which will give you better performance. That's it. It's not a Pro. It's not getting you better specs per se, but at least a little bit better performance wouldn't hurt. And then the Pro maybe pull out, in 2 years more or so when the Switch, because I think if Nintendo is really pulling a Pro so fast, it's too early. I think they should be pulling the Pro when the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, whatever it's called, comes out. At that point is where you need the Pro, so you can stay a little bit on par with the 5. But maybe Nintendo's just thinking that this console will only last 4 to 5 years, and then that they will pull out their Switch 2. And to add to that, honestly, I'm fine with that strategy too, because, Nintendo, please, on this time, Nintendo, you have a console right now, or a portable hybrid, whatever, that is your best system since the N64. Excuse me. In my opinion, since the Super NES. The N64 was crap, honestly. If you think about the whole library as a whole. I know that had groundbreaking games, because before you N64 fanboys kill me. But if you put the console as a whole and you see the library of games compared to the PlayStation 1, the N64 was crap. That is the truth about it. Take those nostalgia glasses off and you'll see that the N64 was not a good console at all. Not at all. Right? Yes, they had games that were revolutionary. They had a controller in the analog that revolutionized gaming. I am not taking that away from the system, Caleones. I'm just saying that overall the library was bad. The consoles suck. So then the last good console was the Super NES, which means that you have a good system here that I don't think you need to go and be crazy Nintendo. You just need a Switch 2 on next generation. Make it more powerful. Make it have the features that is missing from the gate, out of the gate. Make sure that it comes out. I know RX Gaming saying that I say that SD4 sucks, dude. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. But my point to all that is that Nintendo doesn't need to do anything else. Switch to more powerful. Make sure they have the features out of the gate, and you'll be fine. So that's what I'm looking for. Anything to add, Caleones, aside from RX Gaming trying to kill me?
Yeah, I was actually gonna point that out if you didn't see it first. So yeah, you haven't made any friends on the chat. I'm gonna say that right now, just so yeah, watch your back. I know that you have situated your desk closer to the wall, so it's for protection. So you should be okay. But yeah, just watch your back. But yeah, I guess the biggest
I
thing
guess a
is
first
yeah,
good
yeah,
rant for the Spanish channel is why the N64 sucks. I think that would be
yeah.
a great video, and I can make a lot of friends with that one. Uh, it's just surprising. Look, it's just surprising how I see. Look, and I'll say that I don't have popular opinions. You know what is the worst console for me on the PlayStation? Which console I always said it was the worst one of them all.
The
Caleones.
third one,
No,
the second one. I know
PlayStation
PlayStation 2.
2. The PlayStation 2. I think the PlayStation 3 was a better console than the PlayStation 2. Kill me. Kill me right now. Everybody loves the PlayStation 2, and I think the PlayStation 2 was not that great. That's my personal opinion. So, anyway, go ahead, guys. Keep going.
Well, okay, so there's going to be two things with the Switch Pro. I know that for some reason we keep overlooking the Switch Mini. I think Switch Mini is a given. It is something that we've talked about before. I believe that it's not going to have detachable Joy Cons, and I know a lot of people are complaining about so but that's the whole nature of the Switch that you can remove the Joy Cons
If
and
they
then it
sell
comes with
it,
it.
if they
Yeah,
sell it for $150 or $200,
yeah.
who cares about the Joy-Cons? That's the point. Keep going.
I mean, who
I'm sorry.
cares? Like, I mean, are you going to be sad that you won't be able to play 1-2
It's
Switch?
not for you. Don't buy it.
No,
Don't
nope.
buy it.
And I believe that
It's
if
like the
they do
2DS.
so, yeah,
So
I mean, they're gonna have to do some sort of update for Pokemon Let's Go because one of the things is playing with one controller, but you can do that with the I mean the controllers, the Joy-Con connected to the Switch anyway, so that won't be a loss. But the thing is, you want to bring the biggest crowd that you can on here. You do that by introducing the Switch Mini, by getting more people on board, by getting more kids, more females, because those are the ones that are going to be jumping all over the new Pokemon game, that are going to be jumping all over the new Animal Crossing game, and you have to be ready for those. I know that you don't like Animal Crossing, but it's still one of the biggest franchises from Nintendo. They sell over 10 million copies, so we have to put that into consideration. But the thing is, I mean, you just can't deny it, Dante. You can't deny it.
what?
But
The Animal Crossing is not a good game. Yeah, I can't deny it, Caleon. I'm sorry. Joking. I'm joking. Go ahead. Keep going.
yeah, you haven't really played it as much, anyways. But
To
uh,
clarify though, I don't like those type of games. I don't like sims like that. I don't like farming. I don't like building. I hated Little Big Planet. I hated Starve to Dead. What's it called? Whatever it's called. I hate
uh,
those type of games.
like
So.
the Harvest Moons, the Stardew Valleys,
Harvest
and
Moon, yeah, Stardew Valley. Don't like those games. I hate doing manual work. Why the hell am I gonna do it on my console? Build a farm.
uh, it, even though he has more with in common with Nuke, yes, sitting behind a desk working, but still, I mean, I'm overlooking the Switch Mini because I take it as a foregone conclusion that that's going to happen. It's going to happen. It makes sense for it to happen. And the Switch Pro, it will be happening as well. But the question is the jump going to be the same as going from the Xbox One to the Xbox One S, or from the Xbox One to the Xbox One X? So which one is going to be? I believe that for now, if it releases this year, it's going to be the same as going from the Xbox One to the Xbox One S, where, like Dantes said, it's going to be probably a little increase on the onboard memory, the RAM, and not even, I don't think they're going to increase the resolution on the screen. I think it's probably going to stay at 720p. I don't see it going to 1080, but you're going to have better performance on the game. You're going to have better battery life on the system. So they're probably going to do something like that. If they do a Switch Pro where you're going to have perhaps a 1080 screen on the system, that you're going to have instead of 4 gigabytes of RAM, maybe an increase to 8, even though that is going to kill the battery. So they need to improve the battery. But for something like that to happen, I don't really see it happening until 2020, and that's going to be almost 4 years after the release of the Switch, and which will go into what Dante said. Maybe they'll release the Pro unit when they're just before, like a year or two before going over with the next Switch system, like the Switch 2 or whatever it would be. So it this is part of Nintendo's strategies to, of course, continue to get more people to try to sell 100 million Switch units. And if they do the Switch and the Pro, I believe that they're going to get closer to there. But the thing is, are they really going to go 6 or 7 years with the Switch? Are they going to cut it off short in 4 to 5 years and move on to the next one?
They'll cut
That's
it
going to be,
short. That's my
yeah,
opinion. But keep on.
Yeah. So that's going to be the biggest question out of all of this: how Nintendo's going to handle it. But a Switch Mini at $200 if possible. If 150, like you said, I mean that's going to be excellent because everybody's going to buy one, and that probably would be close to the impulse buy edge. So I mean, I might as well grab another one, even though I'm not interested on the Mini. I want the Pro, but yeah, I think Switch Mini is going to be this year, and Switch Pro is going to be next year. They may announce it this year, but I don't see it coming out until next year.
We shall see, Caleones. And like always, we also a big fan of just having a supplement box that increases the performance. If they can somehow, there was some patents there. I know your friend mentioned that, but at the same time, there's always been a patent of a supplement box. If they can find a way to increase the power on games, give you better performance, without making you buy a new Switch, I think Nintendo can do it. But we'll see. I prefer, honestly, at this point, I prefer just make sure that the Switch just lasts 4 years. Bring a new Switch 2 in year number 5, tops. Make it backwards compatible with the games from the Switch 1. And then, start pulling the games that are only applicable for Switch 2. And I think people will still buy it because you will have backlog or, backwards compatibility with Switch 1. So you're not losing your catalog of games. And when you can, bring the games for both Switch 1 and Switch 2. But then when you want to, give you an example, and we'll talk about it next. The Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever it's called, the next Zelda, then you want to show something really a big leap or a big change, then you bring that game just for the Switch 2 to bring new buyers in, right? Like Zelda, it's the Breath of the Wild 1 did for the Switch. So we shall see. I know that RX Gaming is saying he needs the Pro. I wouldn't mind. I would get the Pro. If there's a Pro coming this year that is strong enough, that gets me, again, like I said, performance. I don't care about visuals. I want consistent performance. Then I'm good with that. But with that, say, Caleones, I think we're hammered this topic unless you want to add something.
Well, I got one more question for you. So with a Switch Pro coming out and improving the performance on Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you've already spent over 300 hours playing those 2 games.
No,
are you willing to play them again?
No.
What if it's a significant improvement on the performance and visuals?
I would not play them again, but that guarantees me, though, Caleones, the future games will get better performance. I spent too much time on those games, and now I have this game, Octopath, taking a lot of time. PlayStation's not getting love, dude, and, my plats counts. Last year I only had 15 plats. Caleones, 15 plats. That's bad, dude. I blame Nintendo for it and bringing a good console. They should have stayed with the Wii U. Keep bringing crap. I would have kept playing more PlayStation. I'm joking around. I'm joking. So, no, I would not play those 2 games, but I would say that at least for future games, like the next possible Xenoblade Chronicles games or the next possible new IP from Monolith Soft, we were talking next about that. I'll be down with that. So we shall see, Caleones. We shall see. But with that, Caleones, let's go to the next piece of news.
Okay, so the next piece of news is that there were some reports or some postings when it came to Monolith Soft having new job postings coming up. Not only were they job postings for the company, but they were specifically for the next Zelda game. So the thing is, we know that Monolith Soft already worked on the previous Breath of the Wild. They've worked, I believe, in Link Between Worlds, and they worked on other games as well. So Skyward Sword. So they've been helping Nintendo and outside of Skyward Sword, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and other games.
Animal Crossing. People may not know that, but Animal Crossing they helped too on that too.
So they have their footprint on a bunch of the biggest franchises from Nintendo, and they are Nintendo's go-to studio to provide support for any other internal studio that they have. So, but the question is this are they working on a new game, a new sequel to Breath of the Wild, a new Zelda game, or maybe their very own Zelda game? What are your expectations for it?
So a lot of people may not know this, but Monolith Soft has grown a lot, and I want to thank Nintendo for that. And the reason they've grown so much, right, is because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was successful, but that's their biggest seller in a long time, and it only sold like 1.5 million. It's not like, oh my God, they're not GTA. They're bringing, tons of money and they can grow so fast because of it. No, the reason is they're growing is because Nintendo is counting more and more on them to be able to bring those first party AAA games to to us. And the reason I say that is Monolith Soft. Nintendo seems to have the trust of Monolith Soft working with their internal teams. Monolith Soft, what I heard last is they have divided themselves in 4 teams. Basically, 2 teams whose only job is to support Nintendo in all their games, and then the other 2 teams where one is working on Xenoblade and the other is working on a new IP, which we don't know what it is at this time, right? So Monolith Soft has grown because of the support on Nintendo. Honestly, that relationship has, I believe, saved Monolith Soft completely. I don't think they'll be around right now. Again, Xenoblade, yes, has grown in popularity, has taken the spot on for Nintendo for their Golden Sun series, basically, where that was their main JRPG. I know that we have the other tactical RPG, just
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, but that's not a traditional JRPG. That's what I'm saying. That's more of a tactical RPG, right? So this is their Golden Sun now. So I'm proud that at least Monolith Soft has gone to earn the trust of Nintendo, that they have grown this much, that they are now posting. So I believe they're only helping on Breath of the Wild. They have one team just working on Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is such a big game that they're working, interacting with the main team at Nintendo. While again, you guys don't know this, Breath of the Wild, the open world was created and was helped by Monolith Soft and shaped by Monolith Soft because of their experience with Xenoblade Chronicles X, which was a huge open world. People did not play that game. That game was immense, big open world. There was a lot to explore, and you could see the roots of Breath of the Wild in that game, just the way it was built, right? So I believe that this is only good news. I think they're just helping. I think the other team is probably helping in another. Could be Animal Crossing, could be a lot of things. Again, big time support by No Monolith Soft, and then Nintendo's just basically paying for all this. Nintendo basically created a new first party studio, divided it in 4 teams. They get 2 new games, plus at the same time they're getting support on all the games. Nintendo has been smart in the Switch, where, if you know, Caleones, in the Wii U, they took a long time to bring games. There was a lot of droughts. They were not bringing the games. And if you think about it, Nintendo has brought, since the Switch come out, a consistent stream of games. They have not stopped. Admittedly, it's good that they have not needed to support the system just by themselves, and they're getting good support by the indies and a little bit here or there of third-party support. But at the same time, Nintendo has done a pretty good job, and you can see it with partnering with games, with people, like, again, bringing Luigi's Mansion. We're going to see the Animal Crossing this year. We got the Pokemon showing up. We got, Mario Ace Tennis. A lot of games that have come out little by little here and there. I believe at some point maybe Pikmin will ever show up, maybe. And then having relationships with like this game of the rhythm game with Breath of the Wild. Zelda. Again, having those relationships with the indies have helped continuously Nintendo to bring games. So all that said, I believe that Monolith Soft is just helping out. Caleones, I'm proud of Monolith Soft. It's one of the top developers, and they bring out games. They're not retro. You honestly, I'm not now shit on retro, but Monolith Soft has thrown 2 major Xenoblade Chronicles game in the last 5 years, plus has helped out in over 3 to 4 games that have come out, like Breath of the Wild, Caleones. That is a studio that is well run. I think Takahashi's done a really good job in building that studio. Good leadership right now. I think he learned a lot from from Xenogears, the original Xenogears, about managing people, budgets, and everything like that. That the studio is just a well-oiled machine, that they just keep cranking up games and supporting Nintendo. And Nintendo saw that and said, oh, we need to grow this studio. They're doing the job. They're doing the right things that we need to do. I think great partnership. Again, Nintendo owns a lot of stake of Monolith Soft, so it's a first-party studio, to clarify, even though they operate kind of in a second-party sense. But it's a first-party studio, and again, I'm happy for Takahashi and Monolith Soft that they're, thanks to Nintendo. I have to give, if forever grateful about something on Nintendo, I could give them crap about other stuff, is that they taken this studio, and one of my favorite studios and one of my favorite franchises, and I kept it around and built a studio that we could see games going up in the future, and then the future is bright. We don't know what we're gonna see from the new IP. It could be another banger, Caleones, that is something groundbreaking. That it could be the next Breath of the Wild, because I think this new IP is gonna be something more open world type of game. That could be a big deal. We shall see. Anyway, anything to add, Caleones?
RX Gaming, he's saying on there that when Dantes says Nintendo's doing a good job, it hurts his soul. So, he's just thinking of a jab at you. But hey,
you're
RX,
fine.
yeah, we're gonna be working on the Spanish channel. So yeah, we're gonna have you on our crosshair. So we'll see how that goes.
We couldn't. RX, we couldn't meet today, and please blame Octopath Traveler. I haven't been addicted to a game like that since Breath of the Wild. So it's bad. I didn't play in the week because of work. So I took Sundays and now I'm playing all day. I need to beat all the stories, which I did. It was pretty good. I don't know why people complain about the individual stories. I thought it was good. There was a couple of characters that the story sucked, but a lot of them were good. So we'll see how that final story that everybody talks about, how it unites the story. And supposedly that last boss fight is hard as hell. We shall see. Okay, Caleones, go ahead. Sorry, with your thoughts about Monolith Soft and how they have integrated with Nintendo.
Well, yes, one of the biggest thing about Monolith Soft that they said from the very beginning, when Nintendo kind of unofficially bought them, or took sole control of their decisions, it was that they still wanted to make their own games. They still wanted to have that freedom, and Nintendo has given them that freedom. So yes, they help out on Breath of the Wild. Yes, they helped out on Link Between Worlds, Skyward Sword, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and all of those. But they've always had a studio working on new games. And like you said, the turnaround that they've done in the last couple of games, from Xenoblade Chronicles X to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to Torna the Golden Country, has been amazing. They've done it in the span of 2 years, from X to 2, and then in the span of less than 1 year, probably like 8 months, from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to Torna, which is an expansion, but it's kind of like a complete game as well. So yes, they haven't been selling 5, 6, 7 million copies, not even 2, 3, 4. But the way that they've been managing their budget, the way that they those games have sold, which has been pretty good, anyways, and the way that they're helping Nintendo out with all those other games, that's what makes it a real difference. I love Monolith Soft. I'm really looking forward to their next announcements. Hopefully, of course, I'm on my wish list is going to be a re-release of Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Switch. Yes, the Switch is a port party, but there's so many games on the Wii U that nobody played that they deserve to be played again, and Xenoblade Chronicles X is one of them. I want a sequel to X, and I want it more like Phantasy Star Online, so you can team up with at least 3 other people, have 4-player clans attacking the different beasts, monsters, and things like that. And for those of you that that played the online portion, it didn't quite get there, but I wish for them to go like all the way down that path. That would be fun if they add that portion to a sequel to X, and of course either Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or a brand new IP. I believe for now, since we got enough content on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I kind of want them to release a new IP and take a couple of years before the next Xenoblade Chronicles. I
think that's the focus, because remember, they open, now they're four groups, 4 teams. They have 2 studios, to clarify. Well, again, one studio is just dedicated to helping Nintendo. The other studio is their main. I believe that they just started Xenoblade Chronicles, whatever it is, but their main focus is the new IP. And the reason you see that, because if you saw Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they built it with their internal studio, but they also contracted outside help. So again, it was not an expensive game to make. They've been managing their budgets well. That's how you make money. These studios, this EA, firing over 300 people because they didn't meet expectations. It's because they spend too much money. And I think they think gamers just want, oh my God, you have to be big bangers, you have to have visuals, you have to have the hair and the face just moving on the characters. That just kills your budget, right? And you have games like, again, Octopath Traveler, who sold 1.5. Square is probably seeing a huge return in that, more than their Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15, because it took them 20 years to get those games out. See, and in reality, Square was surprised, and I'm like, Why are you surprised, Square? If you make a good game, people will buy it. You just been putting up crap. That is the problem. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3. I have it. I will play it this year. I do promise that. But Final Fantasy 15 is a piece of crap. And the problem, Caleones, that I have now with Final Fantasy 15, which I did not hate when I played it first time, right? But my hate has grown as I played better RPGs like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like Torna, the Golden Contrast, like Octopath Traveler, who are way better RPGs than Final Fantasy 15. It just gives me more hate on Final Fantasy 15 to say it's a piece of crap. Honestly, you guys, Switch owners, you don't want Final Fantasy 15 in your Switch. You're getting 7 and 9 and 10 and 12. Those are way better RPGs than Final Fantasy 15.
And some talk about Final Fantasy 14 possibly coming. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes if it comes. I know Caleones will be there day one. But aside from that, my point to all that is that, well, I kind of lost my point, my train of thought. But budgeting. The managing budget is critical. You don't have to make a spend. Leave that for studios like Rockstar, who can't do it because they have the backing. Or I'm gonna say that it's not taking a dig at Nintendo or Sony studios because they have the financial backing to make this big Last of Us type of games. AAA. Nintendo is always being smart about their budget. I have, and I'm not saying doesn't take away from the talent of Nintendo, to clarify. It's just they take two different approaches. Sony takes more, real life games, deep storytelling games, where Nintendo focuses more on gameplay and fun, and doesn't take one or the other. One's doing it wrong, one is doing it wrong. What matters at the end is how you manage your budget, and both of them getting the same result, right? So you would say that a Spider-Man or God of War, who sold over 10, 11 million copies, right, cost a lot more to make. There was still a good return on investment. Let me not take a dig at Sony either. But you just think about a game like Smash, who's already at probably 15 million copies sold. I don't know where it is right now, but it doesn't cost the same, I'm sorry, to make a Smash game compared to make a God of War and Spider-Man. So at the end of the day, you have to think, who's dumber? Then Sony's dumber because they're spending a lot of more money on creating their games, right? But again, it's all managing budget. I think Monolith Soft does a great job, to your point, and I think that I think that they will keep helping Nintendo, and we'll see what it comes out. So.
Okay, so Dantes, I believe we're done with the main topic of the show, and we're going to be moving over to the rapid fire pieces of news. Is there anything else that you want to say, or go ahead and take us over to the next one?
No, just RX just saying he owns a Wii U, and then he says his system. The way the system looks is ugly, but he got it for old school games. I mean, the Wii U was not a bad system. The problem with the Wii U, to add to this, I don't want to bring a lot of hate to the Wii U because I did not hate the Wii U. It was just that the drought on the Wii U was awful. There was like no consistent flow of games. You would get one game, Caleones, and then you would wait for forever for the next game to come out. I think Nintendo suffered the most switching to the HD world. I think they should have switched HD in the Wii. And then now maybe that transition on the Wii U wouldn't be as awful. And that hurt them. Honestly, the Wii, even though I keep saying it's a good system, it hurt them staying SD during that generation. So.
And it also would have helped both Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Because those were beautiful looking games.
Yeah,
They were
Mario Galaxy too. Mario Galaxy is beautiful. You play on the Dolphin. Oh my god. Even Xenoblade Chronicles. I played that game 5 times already in my life. And out of the 5 times, I played it once on the Wii U, and the other 4 times had been on PC. That tells you how it looks way better on the PC. So sorry about that. I own the game. Don't kill me. Anyway, but with that, guys, let's go to News Burst. Quickly, let's switch it to Onuma's News Burst. Caleones, quick fire. What's the first piece of news?
Okay, so the first piece of news is that Best Buy has inadvertently revealed the new render of Joker, which is, of course, the first DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I know that there's a lot of people, running with this because the new, I guess the new ad for Best Buy is going to be out on Wednesday. That's when they'll, publish it and have it available for the stores. But there's actually speculation that because they're showing it now, that perhaps the characters are going to be released really soon. And 2, that we may have a new Nintendo Direct just around the corner. So, should we take this only at face value? Should we run with it? What are your expectations from this, Dantes?
I don't think we don't take it deep as in, oh, we have a Nintendo Direct or all that stuff. I think the character will be revealed soon. I think the character will be released soon, and I think the amiibo will release with the character. There's no it's easy way to go. If there's a direct, it will be probably more of a mini direct. If it's like a 5 minute talking about just Smash and the updates for Smash in April and what's coming up in the pipeline, trying to sell you that season pass basically. Caleones. So,
Yeah, and that's something that they already said on the previous Nintendo Direct. They already talked about the new update for Smash. So with the new update, I would expect Joker coming out, and hopefully that render will be the actual amiibo figure because it looks really good. And it seems like he's going to be a sword based fighter, even though it's not actually like a big sword, more like a knife. But it is going to be cool to see how he's used, his move sets and everything. If he's going to mirror another character or if everything's going to be pretty much new when it comes to the game. So I mean, like I said, everybody is looking forward to any new content for Smash, Joker included. So I can't wait to see it.
I wanna say that I want to play that character, but I also want to play Persona 5 first to see if I like the game enough to really play that character a lot. Um, but my backlog's so big that I haven't played Persona 5, which is a crime. And I'm hoping to target it this year, but that's another
Uh, do,
100-hour
do,
game.
do you already own Persona 5?
Yes, I do own Persona 5. So it's there. It's just I have to play it. The same with Bloodborne, which is the next game that I'm targeted after I'm done with Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler was meant to be just a game that I play on the side for mini breaks, and it turned out to be my main game the last month. So that's today I broke the 100-hour mark on the game, Caleones. So that tells you that there's a lot of content in that game. So anyway, keep going.
Well, I mean, just
I'm gonna keep sucking up Octopath balls the whole show. So I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
yeah, like what I'm playing currently, just so you know, is I kind of like backtracked a little, and I'm picking up on one of those games that released last August. That
Yeah, I saw you
I
the other day, Mario and
Yeah.
Rabbits. Yeah.
So
See, are
so
you
yeah,
gonna beat it
especially
this time?
yes, I'm gonna beat it, but also Ubisoft is running a competition for the community on Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Not sure if you got the email, but they have a competition going. So I'm gonna try to see how that works out, just to see if I can do better times than other people. But like yeah, just for the heck of it, just additional motivation to play the game. But I mean, the game is great.
Hey, hey,
Um,
only thing I'm gonna say, Caleones. Only thing I'm gonna say, I want you to learn from it, right? If you hype a game as much as you hype Mario and Rabbits, you should play it and finish it, and not let the other guy who was making fun of the game when it came out beat it first and do what did I do? 99% of the content in the game, right? Just say,
so
just say.
so when are you gonna do the remaining 1%
No,
of the
I'm
game?
not doing it. I'm done with that game. I like it. I'm looking forward to the sequel. I will be more gracious when the sequel come out and not shit on the game like I did on the original concept, right? So I'm looking forward to the sequel. I'm hoping they're working on a sequel. Should not take that long to make a sequel, honestly. So yeah, no. But what I'm saying is, when I hype a game, which is rare, I play it. I don't remember the last game that I hype, but which was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the last game I hype. And I play it, and I beat it, and I did everything that I needed to do in that game. So, just saying.
So the next piece of news is about Mortal Kombat 11 on the Nintendo Switch, and surprisingly, I guess it features the same. Yeah, it has the same features as the other consoles. What they're aiming for, and this is coming from. I mean, they haven't released official footage on their YouTube page or anything, but this is coming from people playing the game over at PAX East. It says that they're aiming for 60 frames, so it is really close to 60 or perhaps 60. And when it comes to the characters themselves, the presentation, the options, everything is there on the Nintendo Switch version. So it's not really they haven't kept content from the other versions on the Switch. So that's really good to hear. I'm really looking forward to the game. I know that it's not going to be as big as Smash because Smash is probably right now the best selling fighting game ever. But still, I love the Mortal Kombat games all the way to the original on the Super NES. Well, on arcades, I should say. But
Arcades.
Yeah.
Arcades, yeah.
But yeah.
RX said if we guys are planning to sleep at the local GameStop to get the amiibo. I'm done with amiibos, RX, so I'm not buying. I don't know if Caleones is going to buy the Joker amiibo, but I'm done with amiibos. Unless I play Persona 5 and I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest RPG since Xenoblade, then maybe, but I highly doubt it. So.
Yeah, I mean, ever since they closed Toys R Us, my whole standing in front of the store or sitting there or sleeping there, yeah, it's not anymore. Last time I did it was for the NES, the Classic Edition. I was there from like 12:50 a.m. until 8 a.m. on which is when they opened the doors and I was able to buy it. But
you were the only one too. So,
I was not the only one. I was number 10 out of 11 consoles they had available. So it was actually going there to pick it up, and
so 11 suckers.
And I saw that pass for $10, so the other person could buy one of the Hatchimals that they had as well. But I had it's fun as long as it's not raining or snowing. It is fun. Because you have like-minded people on the line. But anyway, I'm getting carried away.
So quickly, to finish Mortal Kombat 11, Caleones, it's good that it's looking similar to the other versions, and that's the only thing that I think Switch owners would ask from a developer is getting them. I know it's not the same powers, or getting them the best version possible without cutting corners, which a lot of developers are known for, right? So.
Okay, so the next piece of news, and this comes out of Twitch Prime. They have a new offer going, and this is 12 months of Nintendo Switch Online free for Twitch Prime members. So is this going to be enough for people to finally jump into the online if they have the Prime membership? I mean, which is a no-brainer if you have it. But I mean, Switch Online is, even though it's $20 for a year, for those of you that are getting a loan, it's actually a pretty good value, especially when you have games like Tetris 99 out there. So I know that we give it a lot of flack for the whole disconnects and what happens during our Force In Unison streams while playing Smash. But still, I mean it's a great value. I think it's great.
Anyway, let me not talk about that. We're not gonna have another discussion about the Nintendo Online. The only thing I'm gonna say is this is probably the strategy that the president of Nintendo said about expanding, their group base, their user base, and having an incentive like this with a relationship with Twitch or whatever. I think it just makes sense because then when they are done with this relationship, they're probably, hopefully, people will stay. I think that's what Nintendo's looking for, right? So.
Okay, so the next piece of news is coming. Well, actually, the world will be receiving a new mini console. The next mini console is going to be the Sega Mega Drive Mini. Is going to be releasing worldwide on September 19th. They haven't released the full roster of the games, but so far they have announced Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Puyo Puyo 2, Shining Force, Castlevania Bloodlines, Powerball, Gunstar Heroes, Comic Zone, Renta Hero, Space Harrier 2, and Mato Monogatari 1. So far, what do you think about the new mini console on the market, and what do you think about the games?
I'm a skeptic. The Sega Minis that they announced in the past have been made by crappy vendors who will just give you a shitty product, right? Like TV gaming, so AT gaming, something. I don't even remember the people who did the last Sega Mini. So we'll see if this is Sega made by them. Oh,
At Games.
At Games. Okay, thank you. So At Games. So those are a piece of crap. So we have to wait and see if this Sega Mini is made by Sega themselves and it's gonna be successful. And a lot of people were having those thoughts. They would like to buy one. I think a Sega Mini would sell really well, but a lot of people on Twitter were saying, "But I'm gonna wait and see." So.
Well, actually, I'll tell you this: the same team, the same Sega team that has been working on the Sega's Aegis games, they're the ones making the games for the console. So it's not going to be At Games; it's going to be Sega.
Yeah, so that's what I said. We shall see. We shall see all the emulation. The first 10 games that they announced, I mean, pretty good games. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is one of the best platformers of all time. You got Shining Force, which is a pretty good. Castlevania Bloodline, another pretty good Castlevania game. So a couple of good games already announced, Caleones, and they saying 40 games. That's a lot of games too. I mean, give them props for that. That kills the PlayStation Classic and the Super NES Mini by a lot, right, Calen? So they're trying to give you value for $80, which that's more that I could say for Sony and their PlayStation Classic, which I myself, which you shouldn't do that. I myself turned the PlayStation Classic into something good. I even have analog controller that I can use on the PlayStation Classic, and I have the games that I want on my PlayStation Classic. Just saying, Sony, you could have learned from the same people who help you sell your product. Just saying. Go ahead, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay, so going over with the next piece of news is that Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympics and Tokyo 2020 Olympics, the official game, are going to come to the Nintendo Switch this summer. This was announced during the Sega festival or as in festival, which happened I believe yesterday or the day before yesterday. So it's really cool for those games. I know that we might not be picking those up, but those are games that people still like a lot. What do you think about these games? And actually, I'm not sure if you've seen the trailer, the announcement trailer for this, but it was a little bit emotional, especially for the people in Japan. So it was nice seeing what they did. But are you looking forward to these games, Dantes?
No.
Okay, and that's it. That's nothing else. No, you don't want to.
Yes. No. Not interested.
Okay.
You can move on.
Okay. Well, moving on to the next one, and this is that Bulletstorm is coming over to Nintendo Switch this summer.
More games coming to the Switch.
Okay, so nothing else to say. Then we have an announcement that Panic Button, which has their footprints all over ports of third-party games to the Nintendo Switch. They are working on Hob and Torchlight 2. Game looks actually pretty good, and I hadn't really heard about this game until the announcement. So game is going to have the definitive edition, which is going to be Hub, the definitive edition for $19.99. It's going to come out on April 4th, which is going to be just in a couple of days. So I really want to see what especially when it comes to the performance and all of it. Have you seen the trailers? And if you have, what do you think of the game?
First, what is up, cool drummer? Welcome, long time no see. Welcome back to the stream. No, I haven't seen the video. I know Panic Button is doing the port, which means the game they're taking a serious stance on bringing the game to the Switch. Whoever company they hire, Panic Button to do this. So not much to say. Again, it's just more announcements. Wanted to put those games quickly in the news burst just to say, look at how many games the Nintendo Switch is getting, stuff that is coming down the pipeline. Yeah, not for everybody. Like I said, I'm not interested in every game that comes out on PlayStation or the Switch, but you need consistent flow of games, which the Switch is doing.
Yeah, and I kind of like said it like too fast, but there was actually two announcements on one. Is Hub is coming over to the Switch, as well as Torchlight 2. Hub is going to be April 4th. Torchlight 2 is going to be sometime during the winter. So we're going to have to wait for that one. But going over with the next piece of news, and is that SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh is going to be arriving on Nintendo Switch on the 25th of April. This game is a Nintendo Switch console exclusive. And of course, SteamWorld games. I've played before. I've actually done reviews for my previous site. But I've actually enjoyed the game, and this one being like a turn-based type game, I'm very interested with that what they have on it.
Yeah, no, the Steam games have been good, and again, more games to the Switch. I don't play them, but they look good, and maybe if I have more time, my backlog is big enough. I want to add more, but I would play, and they look good. So happy for Nintendo; they're having that console exclusivity on that one.
Okay, and we have the last announcement for the night, and this is that Wolfenstein Youngblood is coming over to Nintendo Switch. The game will be releasing on the 26th of July, and it's going to be launching alongside the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions of the game. There's still more things to see about the game, to see how the graphics look, how the game runs. But going by Wolfenstein 2, which has already released on the system, we can look forward to a pretty solid version of the game. And like launching alongside, this is what I like to see, just so we can kind of like get a glimpse of how third-party games will perform sales-wise on the Nintendo Switch system.
We shall see again more games. That's a big game. That's a big AAA game coming to the Switch. RX Gaming says he feels bad for the SteamWorld game because he was playing Cuphead during that time. Again, there's just a lot of games on the Switch, and that's the only thing you can ask for. Having that many games gives you a lot of options, and you do your best that you can. I have a huge bad luck. I can't get a dent on it, and more if I play games like, again, Octopath that takes like 100 hours, and that's why it's hard. I love RPGs, but it's not enough time, Caleones. So I don't know. We have to build the days to become like 48 hours or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it's tough with the backlog of games that we have, right? So I don't know. But good for the Switch. Good for the Switch.
Okay, Dantes, and we're done. We're done. No more news for tonight.
Okay, then let's quickly switch into Shigeru's Supermarket. Bing! Go ahead, Caleones. What are the hot games this week?
Okay, so the hot games for this week, or pretty much the games releasing on the Nintendo Switch this week, are Unravel 2, Sushi Time, Peasant Kings, 12 Labors of Hercules, President F.net, Inventioneers, Xenon Racer, The Princess Guide, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, OMG Zombies, Nelky and the Legendary Alchemist, Ateliers of the New World, Gems of War, Galaxy, The Void Deluxe Edition, Final Fantasy VII, Air Conflict Secret Wars, Air Conflict Pacific Carriers, Windscape, Neon, Airfield Mania, Ward Party, Uni, Undead's Building, Ultra Wings, The World Next Door, Snow Battles Princess Ayuki, She Remembered Caterpillars, Sega Ages Gain Ground, Sega Ages Alex Kidd in Miracle World, Lyrica, Istanbul Digital Edition, Inferno, Climber Reborn, Goken, Gods Remastered, Fun Animal Park, Games Don't End. Chrysler Sigma, Cell Damage AD, Arcade Archive, Armed F, Metal Gal, Forager, and Yoshi's Crafted World. Do you have a preference on the games releasing this week? Which ones would you recommend, Dantes?
Yoshi Crafted World, yeah! Hey, Zero, what is up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. That's the game of the week, Caleones. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Well, either way, for those of you Nintendo fans that don't have any other consoles, that never own anything outside of the Nintendo Switch, but that you can,
I'm bad for sad for you.
but that you can finally get your hands on Final Fantasy VII. Do you recommend that game, Dantes?
Of course, it's one of the greatest games of all time. Has it aged well? No, but like if you look at the games, Final Fantasy VI has aged better than Final Fantasy VII. So let me put it out there. But it's still one of the greatest games. And the best example I could say it is like my brother Roger, not a huge RPG guy, doesn't like turn-based RPG that much. Decided to give a shot to Final Fantasy VII and platted the game on PlayStation. That tells you that game still has it. That brings new fans. We'll see how that remake comes out. That's the only thing I can say. But anyway, yeah, Final Fantasy VII is the game of the week. With that, Caleones, just thinking before I close, we're working. Hopefully we'll do this new Spanish channel. I'm thinking the first subject for La Descarga de Dantes, I think it's gonna be why the N64 sucks. And what I'll do is I'll bring RX Gaming for that episode with Caleones. We'll have a nice debate, and then we'll talk.
I mean, I don't know, like, cause RX Gaming, he sounded like I don't know, like there's gonna be some violence behind his words. Do you think it's gonna be just a fun?
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. He can bring the heat. I'll bring heat too. You know me, Caleones. I'll bring the heat too. So I think it'll be a good fun debate, for sure. But yes, maybe that's the first topic we'll do. Why does the N64 sucks, And then, RX can debate me. What? RX can debate me why the N64 doesn't suck. I think that's a great subject, Caleones. I think that's going to be a great
RX
first
is going to be
episode.
the aggression. He's going to be the aggressor on that one, I think. So, for those of you, if you're very passionate about the Nintendo 64 and you want to pile on Dantes and just beat him over the head, please be there when we finally open up the new channel and we do this stream.
Cool Drummer also says the N64 doesn't suck. Then Cool Drummer, if you know Spanish, it sounded like spinach there. If you know Spanish and you want to join the new channel, we're hoping to open it. We said target at the end of April. That's the target. So expect first episode around the first week of May. That is the target that we proposed to ourselves. We're opening the last week of April the Spanish channel. I already tasked Caleones in getting me some artwork this week so we can start building some intros for the shows. And just take the picture of boiling point and just put the Cicada Dantes. I think that would be the easiest one. I don't want to kill ourselves either. The channel's just starting, so don't expect high production values. Anyway. But with that said, Caleones, I think we're done. So let me do that rigmarole. Cold Drummer says that he's really not a big expert of the N64, but I play it so much with my cousin. The N64, let me clarify. I'm going to say this again. I said it on the show today. The N64 had great games. Best groundbreaking games of all time. Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, GoldenEye. It had great games. But I'm going to put it this way why I think the N64 suck. Caleones, when we did our list for the top N64 games for this channel, we had a hard time getting up to 20. Right? Did we had a hard time getting up to 20?
Well, especially
that tells you a lot.
Yeah, I mean, but it was a tough because of Rare's lineup, maybe or maybe not being there. So
just come on. Be truthful. No, leave your fanboy on the door. Anyway, with that said, no, Caleones will be the moderator. So I think he'll. This is a tag team matchup because it'll be Caleones and RX Gaming versus me. I'll bet you that on that first episode of La Descarga de Dantes, right here or right there at the Force In Unison Español channel. We'll figure out the slogan later. Anyway, with that said, I want to thank everybody who came through and watched us today at the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast episode 85, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. There's the background music. Sorry, I forgot all that. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also, remember you can get this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. On Sunday, I will be putting that podcast up, and I will be putting their shows up today that come back. I know I connected my tower again. So I'm showing more excitement again. We'll see. Also, I'm not gonna say channel schedule because we're not following shit right now. But I'll say Facebook page at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, thank you again for joining us. Long live Nintendo.